Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 14, Text 1. Sutta uvacha samprasthete dvarakayam jishnau bandhudin rakshaya jnatum cha punyaslokasya krishnasya cha vichestetam. The noble Sutta said that Arjuna had gone to the city of Dvaraka to see his friends and relatives and to know about who the scriptural hymns speak of. About the God of light and further work to do. Text 2. Vyatitah katichin masas tadanayat tato Arjuna dadarsagora rupane nimitane kurudvaha. After a few months had passed, Arjuna didn't return from there. And the king of the Kurus observed various fearful appearances being caused. Text 3. Kalasya chagatim raudram viparyastartu dharmina papiyasim nirnambartam krodhaluban ratatmanam. Of the eternal time, the direction of it was fearful. And there were discrepancies to the specific functions because of the sinful human beings and their means of livelihood, their anger, their greed, their falsehood, and their field of consciousness. And, well, if there's problems with your ego, obviously that mental construction of consciousness is going to be problematic to your experience in multiple ways, right? Text 4. Jehma prayam vyavavratam sakya mesram cha sauhardam petar matar surad pratar dampatinam cha kalkanam. There's cheating in all ordinary transactions. Duplicity adulterates it regarding the friendly well-wishers, the father, the mother, other well-wishers, one's own brother, and about one's spouse. There's a mutual quarrel. And, well, elsewhere we have this idea of love. We've got the servant master, the friend, the parent-child, the spousal, and the socially inappropriate one. And some people think, oh, you can just jump to be socially inappropriate. You don't have to serve God as a servant before you get to the friend or the parent-child or anything else, but you do, right? Text 5. Nimitane aryarstane kaletavanugate narnam lubanye adharma prakritim darstvovachanujam nirpa. There's a cause of various serious bad omens in the course of time, but that passes away for humanity as a whole. And it's agreed upon that irreligious habits, when they're observed, by the younger brother, the king. So when people get used to witnessing these things, they're like, but like, I look at this society and it's like, why can't the Christians and everybody else step forward and say, hey, we have a higher law than the government, so just because it's legal, we stay out of it. And the government getting involved in stuff, well, why can't they get involved in the more serious stuff and leave these smaller things alone for the meantime? At least, as far as they shouldn't spy and entrap people towards it, right? Text 6. Yudishtera uvacha samprasheto dvarakayam Jeshnur bandhu dedvrikshaya jnatum cha punya slokasya krishnasya cha vicheshtatam. Yudhishthira said that he went to Dvaraka, Jishnu went to meet his friends and to know of who the scriptural hymns speak of, the all-attracting, and what type of work he should perform. Text 7. Gata sapta duna masa bimasana dvanuja nayate kasya vahetornam vederam manjasa. He's gone for 7 months at this point and hasn't returned. Oh, Bhimasena, your younger brother doesn't come back. For what reason? I don't know. And this is the fact. Text 8. Apedavarshanandishta sakalo yambupasteta yadatmano nagam akridam bhagavan dutsesrakshate. Whether by the light being that we know an example by, kind of like Gabriel showing Muhammad how to pray, who instructed about eternal time that is now arise, so prophecies were made. When his own self, out of his plenary portion, manifested about the personality of God, and the going to quit. Oh, is he going to quit his earthly pastimes? Text 9. Yasmannah sampado rajyam darah pranah kulam prajah asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. From whom is our opulence and our kingdom, our good wives and the existence of life, our dynasty and our subjects, our subjecting has become possible over competitors that we've conquered. So will be the future accommodations in worlds by His mercy. Text 10. Prasyud patanara vyangra divyan bauman sadaekan darunan samsato durad bayam nubuddhe mohanam. Just see the disturbances. Oh, one of tiger-like strength. That there's happenings in the shinings. Happenings on earth. Happenings in the body and the mind. And there's something awfully dangerous being indicated in the near future. Because of our intelligence degrading, well, being diluted. Text 11. Urvakshe bhavo mahyam spurante anga punah punah vapathus chape hrdaya aradasyante viprayam. The thighs, the eye, the arms. Well, the arm. Okay, yeah, I guess it's the thighs, the eyes, arms, and the shaking of the left side of the body. So we're talking about the torso. It's happening again and again with palpitations, and certainly in the heart is due to fearfulness, indicating undesirables. So there's good feelings that come in similar ways to that, but we're talking about the bad feelings. Text 12. Sevaye shodyantam adityam abhiraute analanana mamanga saramayam avirebate abhiruvat. The jackal is this rising before the sun and crying towards with fire unto me. O Bhima, this dog is barking without fear. Text 13. Sastah kurvante mam savyam dakshinam pasavo pare vahams cha purusha vyagra lakshaya rudato mama. The useful animals are keeping me on the left, circumambulating. You know, the most important circumambulations are actually counterclockwise. Other lower animals. The horse riders also. Oh, tiger-like personality are seen weeping with mine. Oh, say they weep upon seeing. Text 14. Mertu duta kapoto yamburuka kampayan mana pradyulukascha kuhavanayir visvam vayesunyam etchata. Death's messenger is a pigeon. This owl's trembling causes the mind to be like the rival of owls, and the screech of the cosmos is as if it wants to make things void. Text 15. Dumradesa paridaya kampatebuh sahadrebeh nirgatascha mahamstata sakamcha stana yetnubeh. It's smoky in all directions, and it encircles the earth with throbbing. So kind of like a volcano going off or a nuclear war. Along with the hills and the mountains, there's a bolt from the blue that's also very great. That lightning is also thundering without any cloud. 16. Vayurvate kara sparso rajasa visrjams tamah asrug varsante jalada bibatsam iva sarvata. The winds blowing sharply and stirring up dust that creates darkness, and as if it's blood raining from the clouds. It seems disastrous everywhere. Text 17. Suryam hata prabhampasya graha mardam mitho deve sasam kulayir bhuta ganayir jvalete eva rudasi. The sun, with its declining rays, are something that we can see with the clashes of the stars and among one another in the sky, being mixed with the living entities, being ignited as if crying. So there was a solar flare, and they noticed it more after sunset. That's most likely right. Text 18. Nadyo nadascha kshubeta saram secha manam secha najvalate agnir ajyana kalo yamkim vidasyate. The rivers and the tributaries were all disturbed. The reservoirs of water and the mind also doesn't ignite, the fire with the help of butter, at the time it was extraordinary, what's going to happen? Oh, so there was something stopping fires from happening, even with fuel? That I can't quite explain. Text 19. Na pibante stanam vatsana duhyante chamatara rudante astru mukha gavo naharshyante vrishabhavraja. There's not the sucking of the breast by the calf, and nor does the cow allow milking. She cries with a fearful face. The cow doesn't take pleasure from the bull and the pasturing ground. Text 20. Daivatane rudantiva svidyante heuchalante cha emejana padagrahma purodhyana karasrama burashtasreyo nivrananda kimmangam darsayantena. The places of the light beings seem to be crying like that, with lamentation that makes it seem like they're going to go out, and also the city, the villages, the towns, the gardens, the mines, the hermitages, and of course so on, are devoid of beauty, bereft of happiness, for the sort of calamities that are about to happen to us. And certain beings will presence in places of worship according to the types of worship and the ethic that is kept there. All that. Text 21. Manyatayir mahutpatayir nunam bhagavata padae ananya purusha sriberhina burhata saubhaga. You may take for granted all these great surgings because you want the personality of God, who is marked as if by feet, the extraordinary. Of the personality by the auspicious signs dispossessing the earth without fortune. Text 22. Ete chentayatasya drishtarishtana chetasa rajna pradyagamad brahman yadu purya kape dvaja. Thus, thinking internally about him by observing the bad omens, the mind of the king returned to the priestly, to the Yadu kingdom. Arjuna returned. Text 23. tam padayor nepatetam ayatha purvam aturam adhuvadanam abendun sarjantam nayanabjayo. He was at his feet with an unprecedented bowing down, with a dejected, downward face, drops of water that were created from lotus-like eyes. Text 24. Vilukyodvigna hardayo vichayam anujam nirpah parchatis masuran madhyasam smaran naraderitam. Because of anxiety by his heart, the appearance of Arjuna, the king asked about the past and the friends that he was remembering amongst. And the sage Narada was indicated by this. Text 25. Yudhishthira uvacha kachid anartha puryamna svajana sukham masate madhu bhoja dasarharha sadvatandaka vrshnaya. Yudhishthira said, whether of there are our relatives, are they happy? How are they passing their days? Madhu, Bhoja, Dasarha, Arha, Satvata, Ambaka, and the rest of the family of Vrishna. Text 26. Suro matamaha kachit svaste aste vata marisha matula sandujah kachit kusale anaka dundube. Sura is the maternal grandfather. Is he passing his days in all goodness, or with the cause of respect? Is the maternal uncle with his younger brothers? I wonder whether they're all well. Oh, Anaka Dundumbe with his younger brothers. Text 27. Sapta savasarastat patnyo matulanya sahatmaja aste sasnushah kshamam devaki pramukah svayam. Seven of his own sisters are his wives. The maternal aunts, along with the sons and grandsons, are all with their daughters-in-law in happiness, and headed by him personally. Okay, there was some implication here. Those 7 are all sisters. They're not, it doesn't say they're his sisters. Okay. One thing now is in Islamic law, for example, you don't marry a mother and daughter, you don't marry 2 sisters in the same. If you were married to such, when you accept Islam, that can be kept together, but, these sorts of combinations of wives is no longer allowed. Text 28 and 29. Kached Raja Huko Jivate Asat Putro Asya Chanuja Hardikah Sasuto Kruro Jayantagada Saranah Asate Kusalam Kachenyacha Satrujid Adaya Kachedaste Sukam Ramo Bhagavan Sattvatam Prabhun. Whether the king Ahuka is still living, his mischievous son, and also his younger brother, along with such sons as Ekruha, Jayanta, Gada, Sarana, whether they're all in happiness, also with Satrajit leading them, whether they're all aright, Balarama. The personality of God is the protector of the devotees. Text 30. Pradyumnah sarva vrishninam sukamaste maharatha gambira rayo nevudo vardate bhagavan uta. Pradyumna and all the members of the Varshna family are in happiness by the great general who's deeply dexterous, and Avruddha flourishes. Because the personality said that this must be. Oh, there's the question whether it must be because of the personality of God. Text 31. Sushanas charureshnas cha sambhu jambavati sutta anyacha karshne pravara saputra vrishabhadaya. Sushana, Charudeshna, and Samba, the son of Jambavati, and others are as the son of the all-pervading. All the chieftains with their sons, such as Ushabba, Adaya, are doing well. And there's talk about the 10 sons of each wife. So it's said that the one sent that we refer to as Krishna here had 161,080 sons, because each wife, the 16,108, were said to have 10 sons apiece. Text 32 and 33. Tata evanuchara saure sruta devudavadeya sunandananda sirshanya yechanye sarvatarshabah apesvaste asate sarve Rama Krishna Bujasraya apesmarante kusalam asmakam badasauhardah. Similarly, the constant companions of him, such as Srutadeva, Uddhava, Adeya, Sunanda, Nanda, other leaders, all of them and others are liberated souls. They're the best people, and if they're doing well, it's for all of them. Rama, Balarama, the god of light, they're under the protection of him. And if also they remember the welfare of themselves, they're bound by eternal friendship. Text 34. Bhagavan nape govindo brahmanyo bhakta vatsala kachit pure sudharmayam sukhamaste suhard vrata. The personality of God also enlivens the cows and senses, is devoted to the devotees, or the true priestly class, affectionate to the devotees, whether in Puri or any other pious assembly. He happily enjoys being surrounded by his friends. Texts 35 and 36. Mangalaya chalukanam kshamaya cha bhavaya cha astayadu kulam bodhav adyo nanda sakha puman Yadbahu danda guptayam svapuyam yadabo jeta kridante paramanandam mahapaurushika eva. For the various goods Also, all the spheres to protect them and to elevate them also is there in the ocean of the Yadu dynasty, which is originally in the company of Ananta, the supreme enjoyer, who protects by his arms his own city, the members of the Yadu, as they deserve. They relish transcendental pleasure, and so do the residents of the spiritual sky likewise. Now, you become part of the spiritual sky by the consciousness, because the spiritual is always present among the physical and the mental. But how many identify with that platform? Text 37. Yad pada susrushana mukya karmana satyadayo davyashta sahasra yoshita nirjitya sankhya trida sams tadasishta ta Tadasisho harante vajrayuda valabucheta. And midway through that, well, I mean, the third line of that verse, the end of it, Tad as isho. Got stuck in my speech there, so just want to make sure that I wasn't saying, I wasn't saying similar words together. Whose feet administer comforts that are the most important through the acts of the queens. So we know divinity through the acts of others. We get beneficence through other operators. And these queens were headed by Satyabhama, and they were twice 8,000, so 16,000 of the fair sex, and by subduing in the battle of the innocence of heaven what is enjoyed, they take away its potency, and the wives of the personality deserve to control the thunderbolt. Okay, so the wives were so good that they got privileges comparable to the light beings. Well, it is said that the best that you see in paradise is the spouse, or whatever spouse you're given there. Text 38. Yad bahu dandamyudayanu jiveno yadu pravira heakuto bayambuhu avikramante angrebir ahartam balat sabam sudharmam sura satam uchitam, whose arms are influenced, always living, the members of the Yadu dynasty. They're great heroes, fearless in every way, and they're constantly traveling by foot, and they bring about by force the assembling Sudharma. The best among them is deserving. Okay, so their temple was taken away because of certain actions. Like as we see elsewhere, the talking about the gambling and losing the kingdom. But it's important that rulers get there and physically do the work. It's not that they hand everything off to everyone else, right? Text 39. Kachite namayam tata brashta teja vibhase me'alabda mano vajnata kimvatata cherosheta. Whether your health is right, my dear brother, whether you're bereft of appearing with luster, is this lack of respect due to neglect, or is it because of your long stay? Text 40. Kachana behato bavae samdadibir amangalai nadatam buktam arthibya asayayat pratisrutam. Whether it wasn't possible to make unfriendly addresses by sounds, or inauspiciousness, or not giving charity, it's said to the one who acts with hope that there's a promise to be paid. Text 41. Kachit tavam brahmanam balam gam verdam roginam strayam saranopasratam sattvam naryakshe sarana prada. Tiakshi would be to give shelter, and like a lot of words, if you add the a before it, it's not giving shelter. So whether by the priestly class, the child, or the cow grows old or gets diseased, the woman who approaches for protection, how can any living being deserve protection who hasn't given shelter? Text 42. Kachetvam nagamu agamyam gamyam vasatkratam strayam parajito vafa bhavan no tamayir nasamay pate. Whether yourselves didn't make contact is impeachable or acceptable. Either is improperly treated. A woman defeated by either of them. After all, your good self isn't by superior power or equals on the road. Well, so we question whether or not they're still known as superior, whether there's a superior that's been shown, or whether they've had inappropriate contact with the women and all that stuff. Now, in general, you don't want to spy on and ask what people's mistakes are. Text 43. Apesvet parya bunkithas tavam sambujyan vrdabalakan jugupsetam karma kinchit Kirtavanayad akshamam. If it were so, that there was a leaving aside for eating yourself, when there was the deservingness to dine with others, old men and boys, of abominable action, there's something you must have done. Something that was unpardonable. Just like in Job, they were just assuming that, you're late and all this, in this case it's because you were late and all that, and you don't seem as strong and stuff, so, you must have deserved it somehow, and life doesn't always work with that. The gospel prosperity isn't the way. It's ease and hardship are both tests. And in general, society isn't meant to go off and hide alone. When there's mixed religions or the lack of religion, it does help to step away from people and not to seek out the company of those that are doing drugs and consuming other unlawful things, Text 44, Kachit prashthatamenatha hardayanatma banduna sunyo asme raheto nityam manyasetanyatha naruk. Whether you've lost a dear one, your own friend, someone who you're the most intimate of, I'm lost for my time. You think you otherwise didn't cause any distress. Or maybe there's no reason for the distress, right? Well, there's a reason, but it's not like, sometimes people aren't happy all the time. Sometimes they aren't, energetic and all that all the time.